Hey everybody, it's been 2 weeks. So sorry for the delay, but it's been crazy. We had hurricanes and tornadoes and all kinds of craziness. So this is us in a car. And I'm Kim.
I'm Laura.
And Brookie makes 3.
Woohoo! We're back. So we're gonna go over episodes 10 and 11 in really quick style. But I liked both of these. I like seeing Uncle Nicky back. I like seeing the babies coming home and all
babies.
of that. There were a lot of things that there's a lot to talk about. So let's just dive in. Episode 10, Toby. Okay, so let's start with poor Toby. So Toby's interviewing with a suit. He had on shorts, right?
I'm just like, I bet he's cut to the chase. Like,
Oh,
just
yeah.
get to it.
Well, he was doing the Zoom.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
doing a Zoom interview. He's got a baby sitting there. Who knows where Kate was? Maybe they
That's
just.
when he took the music. She took Jack to the music class.
Oh, that's right.
Mhm.
Okay. She doesn't, no problems with that. But he's trying to rock a baby. He's like, look, this is it.
Yeah.
You want me or not? And, you know, it seemed very, very promising, and then it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And now you've got to go to the in-laws. And no matter, the thing is, I love this episode because no matter how much you love and how much family you are with your in-laws and all the extended family, there's a line.
We say it's 4 days. If we leave it 4
My house
days,
is 3
everybody
days.
loves each other and everything is
3
good.
at mine,
If you
'cause fish
extend it,
smell every
yeah,
3
it's kind of
days.
iffy.
Yeah, I've heard that. After 3 days, you start to smell.
Love you, everyone.
Kisses, bye-bye now. And so we see Toby having to go have dinner with Kevin and his beautiful wife, who just had twins and doesn't look like it, and their nanny, and everything's beautiful, and he's having, you know, they can smoke a cigar outside and have this male bonding time. But Toby is obviously distracted and not quite himself. He's not the same guy, and nobody picked up on that. And even Kate just didn't understand how tense this moment was for him. He's trying to provide for his family. He got laid off. He's trying to find another job. He's interviewed, but he doesn't know how well it's gone. And now we've got to go have sushi with your brother.
Yeah. Well, and I think because you had all the dinners, Beth's dinner and all that, and I thought we sometimes put so much expectation of like what the dinner's going to be like, or what the family vacation is going to be like, or what, and then it's kind of like, well, that didn't turn out, and then everybody's disappointed and mad and upset.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, Kevin's just being himself. I mean, he wouldn't do anything different because he didn't know. So that's another thing to think of. If you're not going to talk, you can't get mad at other people for just being who they are. So I was glad that finally Toby just like laid out there, at the table, and just told him. And Kevin's like, okay, man. Now, I know that male pride thing, and he's like saying we can do this and this and this, and it's like, okay, I'm not a man, and I even know you don't like push the button on what you're going to give a man right when he's trying to provide for his family.
When he's just finding this out, you don't need to bring a solution.
Yeah.
I don't need your brother fixing us,
Right.
or like he said, throwing your money at us. He said, I don't need you paying for my kids' lives, and how condescending it was for me to, like, I'm doing you a favor taking this handout. Like, you got too much money, you don't know anything what to do with it, so I'm just gonna unload some of it for you.
Give it to me, Kevin. I'll take it.
Yeah, and I was kind of interpreting the situation too, that Toby was trying to maintain control of the situation. He told his wife, don't say anything. When you are out of work, he's out of control of his life. And that's, to me, I think what we were seeing, experiencing.
Yeah.
He's totally out of control with right now and the future with not having work.
And kudos to Kate for not being like, I did not tell him. You don't trust me. Like going off on, because that was my first thought, was she was going to get upset because when he said, you told him, and she was like, no, I did not. And I thought she was maybe going to get upset about that.
I
but
think that was a testament to how Toby feels about her relationship with the brother.
Right.
That they're so close that she would.
That even when you break a confidence with
you
me,
would do it.
Yeah, that
True.
you would choose, you'll still choose to uncover me and tell him something I told you not to do.
Right.
Even and that's hurtful. And so he kind of went into it anticipating that she wasn't going to keep her word.
Yeah, but not noticing that Kevin's just being Kevin.
I tell you what, Kevin, I will come to your sushi party any day.
Any day. And I'll take whatever things you want to pass out for free.
All the little free baby stuff, absolutely, yes. We'll take 2 of those.
Yes.
Any day.
Then you got the Akko dinner at the Randall household. And I thought that I can't remember now, but I wrote down where Randall's like, "That's okay, I'll just let the city burn." Or when I think Beth was kind of saying, "You're staying right here and you're doing whatever," and he's like, "I'll just let the city burn." Like he was saying, "I got to go do all this stuff."
Yeah.
He was trying to escape. He must have been trying to escape.
He was trying to escape, and she was telling him, and he's like, "That's fine. I'll just let the city burn while we're taking care of your mom or whatever." So. I'm like, that's like something that we said in my house. But.
What's funny is that Randall is out hiding on the porch, and everybody knows that's what he's doing, which means Mama C knows that's what he's doing, which is kind of funny.
We find a place with a book in our house.
So you can just read and be. I just want some quiet.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think, and what I had mentioned earlier was about that dinner is I know as a mom, when either one of my mother or my mother-in-law came over when my children were young, I always wanted it to be good so they would think I was doing everything right. But then I wouldn't get onto my kids as fast. Like the whole getting them, okay, do this. Well, if nobody's there, I'd be like, get up right now and do it. But Mama's here, and I don't want the kids to be upset and there to be whatever. So then they would know that, and they would push the limits and boundaries because they knew it. And then and even at the dinner table, when she realized that Tess had been sharing with her mom and not her, so I'm like, right then I thought, because there's that moment when especially, I don't have boys, but like with mothers and daughters, when they've been telling you everything, and then all of a sudden you realize they're not it.
Yeah.
You're and so when you realize, oh, that person knows more, or they did this or that, and it's just that it's
a little hurtful. It's a little dig.
It's not their fault. They're just being who they're supposed to be, and you want them to have people they can talk to, and you want them to go out. But you're still like, I didn't know this about my own kid, and you just think, oh, I could have done something different or helped them or whatever or known. And so part of me was kind of like, Beth's not the bad person here, just because
just because she didn't know. And so I kept wanting to throw something at the TV. I'm sorry. Every time when she started blowing up at her mother because she didn't call Alex they. I get it's disrespect. They feel some kind of disrespect, and it's it's also pushing the limits. It's saying this is my autonomy, and because you won't do this, it's because you don't think of me in a way that I can have some autonomy. But I was getting sick of her saying it, to be honest with you. It felt very disrespectful, her tone. So it didn't matter. I don't think so much it was what she was saying, it was the tone in which
and what she was correcting. I would have got backhanded by my mom if I had talked to my mom like that. It would have been
didn't matter what it was.
Yeah, no matter what. You didn't talk with tone to my mother.
Yeah, my mom, and my mom could read tone that didn't come out your mouth. She read tone on your face. So I got hit for tone on my face. So no, absolutely not. But I did want to say, when Mama C's watching her cook, and she said, don't put so much of the peppers in. And then when she eats it and she says, oh, it's pretty good, but it could have used more peppers. What? Woman?
Yeah.
That was a dig. That was such a dig. And I normally like Mama C. I mean, there's that tension obviously between them, but I'm glad they kind of hashed everything out. Randall just kind of sat back and just absorbed it all. Which was kind of funny.
With girl issues.
Yeah.
Like with Deja out there, and he's a good girl dad.
Yeah, absolutely. But it was funny when what's the guy's name? The boyfriend. Malik comes out on the porch, and they're talking about Janine wanting to be more involved with the baby. I'm like, that can be a little bit deep. And I could feel for Deja. Now, granted, these are children. All of them are children. And there's so much hormone and relationship issues that goes along with that anyway. So I'm like, this is just about to be drama for no reason. And so I could understand Deja feeling some kind of way. But at the same time, I don't know if it was so much what was happening or the fact that Randall knew before. So it's all these cross communications. It's like people weren't communicating with the right person, you know, and throughout the episode, that was very interesting.
Well, I kind of think with that situation, I was thinking, okay, Deja, you're involved with a teen dad, teen parent, and that's a very adult, complicated situation, and these are issues that you're going to be navigating a whole lot of issues that you wouldn't as a non-parent, especially as a teen parent. So
absolutely,
I wanted to piggyback on Mama C and Beth. I was kind of looking at, you know, they titled the episode "I've Got This," and so I was relating that to, and that's, you know, household. The mother, that's all about control.
Right.
The kind of the issues that I was seeing with the different relationships was about who's in control.
Right.
And proving I'm in control or I can be in control. And so I was kind of thinking that was the energy Beth was putting on was, you know, trying to prove to her mom, I've got this. I've got control of my family. I've got control of our lives. And then when Tess has got stuff going on that, you know, that she hadn't shared, that was kind of making her, I think, maybe feeling out of control. And then that competition with her mother. I'm hoping that'll get better because I don't have a mother like that. So, and I'm not a mother like that. So it's hard for me to, you know.
I think what I wrote is judgment is really aloneness. It's our own issues. So at the end, when she said, I wish I had this house of people, you know, you got to hear. And a lot of times, the things that come across on both sides as judgment, oh, she's judging me. You know, or I've had my kids say, you're judging her, Mom. I'm like, no, I'm just stating a fact. And really, it's there because maybe they know I'm hitting on something.
Yeah, that's uncomfortable.
That's uncomfortable for them. And so it's easy to say, oh, you're being judgmental. Oh, that's judgment.
Yeah,
and
because if you can be judged, if the other person is judgmental, you can dismiss it.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I think, and a lot of times it comes from our own issues, whether you're the one who feels like you have to look down and say stuff, you know, it's because it's your insecurities or whatever, or it's because the person that's feeling it, you know, I mean, I just think that's the basis of it a lot of times. And sometimes, especially in our culture today, we throw out the judgmental stuff, and a lot of times it's not judgmental at all. I mean, if I'm speaking the truth or whatever, it's not necessarily judgment, but we toss that out.
Yeah.
So like you said, I think you said it good, so then you don't have to.
Yeah. I'm sorry, there's a wasp trying to get in my car. He's not allowed in the car.
No.
Okay.
Just waiting for him to go away.
Oh shoot, he's coming in here. Okay.
Sorry, we don't do creatures.
I don't do.
We're from
I don't
Georgia,
do
but we don't do
flying
creatures.
creatures.
I
I don't like frying bugs
Dirty,
at all.
Sweat.
So,
I did like how Mama said, Beth said, you know, we're loud, we're chaotic, but this is us. This is how we run our house. And she, you know, said, you know, yes, I'm glad she at least came clean. Yes, I am judging you on some stuff. I am on the folded napkins and some of the things she said, but on the big stuff, I'm actually jealous because my house is so quiet. When she said that, I could picture being an older widow with all my kids gone and their lives are what they are, and I'm at home listening to traffic. And I think the way they wrote that was so easy to relate to and to see from a different perspective. And so, you know, I love Beth's answer. She brings out the cooler with the IPAs, and she's like, look, your family uses our house as a Ramada Inn, so it's my turn. My mom's staying indefinitely. That's a horrible word. That's scary. I'm sorry. That is really, really scary to say indefinitely somebody is staying at your house. So I think one of us before talked about how in this episode there are a lot of, to me, the marriages, there were a lot of women overstepping a little bit, saying this is what I'm going to do. Not having a conversation, not so much asking permission, but actually discussing things. You know, Kate at the table saying, oh, I'll just go back and get a job. What?
and even at the end, she told him I took it before they really talked about it.
Yeah, and Beth saying my mom is staying indefinitely. You know, Mama C saying I'm staying another week. Yeah. You know, all of these people taking.
Well, even Kevin though.
Yeah.
Kevin was talking about how his money was,
everybody's
Kate's,
money.
And Jack
Kate's
paying.
money and
Is this the one that Jack was at the table with the credit card?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And that's kind of one of the things I said is a lot of times too, I put realizing mom and dad took care of things. Like Kevin and Kate both realized it. How much. And we don't. I mean, we talk about all the time. I remember one of my parents one time saying, y'all talk about money too much in front of your kids. And I was like, they should know. They should know where it comes from and what, because we didn't. And then we both walked into marriage and just thought we were supposed to have all this stuff. And it just got there. And, we didn't know how to budget and didn't know, that credit cards are from Satan. And, you know what I'm saying? So I've tried to always, and maybe I do too much. And my girls sometimes have said, I'm kind of stressed out because I want to do this and you're stressing me out about the money. But I mean,
they need to understand the reality what's going on, whose house you live in.
Right, and I don't think we realize sometimes till we're older how much our parents did for us and took care of us, and behind the scenes we're doing all this stuff and we didn't even know it.
Yeah.
So
I agree. Just about the beginning, I did like the opening montage with all of them shifting, taking shifts with the babies, and just seeing how I love babies. It was really.
Snuggles.
I know Snuggles up in here. This is the sweet spot. All right, y'all.
Colic.
See, but now like I'm at that age, and you're almost, and soon that we can just give them back. So
that's true.
And so the end of episode 10, Uncle Nicky arrives and he's like, hey, how did you just name, you got 2 babies, only one of them has my name. I'm not sure how that's right. And so then we enter into episode 11, which is called One Small Step.
I just think that it was great seeing his whole story, I mean, because you see the whole thing with Nicky, how he missed going with the girl and he missed seeing Jack, and it's like he finally has something to be proud. I mean, you've seen this kind of broken, very sensitive soul. You kind of realize in this how sensitive he is from the beginning, but that he missed all these opportunities, and it was like he finally had something to be proud of. Like he was not going to miss this one because he realized that, and I just thought that.
And he had something to bring. He could come and, like he said, I'm not going to show up empty-handed. I have to have something to bring to my great niece and nephew, which is a big deal. I mean, his brother's grandchildren are being born, and one of them's named after him, and so that's a great honor. So I like the gravity, the weight that it had to Nicky, because I think it would be to him, like you said, given his past. And I love the flashbacks of him. I missed Nicky most of this season. We really haven't seen him, and so it was really good to have him back this episode.
Well, and I love the advice that Cassie gave him at one point when he was like, I should leave, and she's like, you've hated yourself for so long, you don't know what to do with the love coming at you.
Right.
And I just thought that was a profound statement, and applies to so many, that we don't know when you've been in hurtful situations or you've grown up with bad family life. I feel like that's why people react some of the other ways we've talked about, and all the other issues is because you don't know what to do with it when people just freely give love
absolutely
to you. So
I think too, the trip they were kind of showing us, well, I was thinking this, he had the opportunity to go to California with Sally and didn't go. And he pulled out the suitcase that Jack gave him, right, to take on their trip to California. And then the gifts that he made, that he took all that time to make for the twins, had to do with the dog. Remember, he and Sally worked with the vets, and one of them was a globe with a dog, and then the other one, well, I guess the moon was really about his dad,
right?
But that kind of took him back to that time period of his life. So I'm kind of thinking, because this episode was called Baby Steps,
one small step.
I'm wondering though if like the big step is going to be that he gets reunited with Sally, or he goes and looks for her.
Hey,
that's what I'm kind of thinking.
Like that would be the next big thing.
They were like, I don't know. I just feel like
they never tied that completely off.
No, they didn't, and they were letting us kind of get to know Sally a little bit more this time. And
Sally could be anywhere. She could
be
in
Alaska.
But her
last, they integrate social media. I mean, I could totally see this.
See somehow them.
And he's in California now,
and it's with Kevin, because Kevin loves an adventure. Yeah, you give him a project to try to figure something out.
I went off on a tangent, but I think that I don't know. I'm planting a seed. Know.
Now I have a question. Have we ever seen Jack and Nicky's mom before?
I didn't remember.
When I saw her, I was like, I don't know her, and it was kind not off-putting, but I'm like, I don't think we've ever seen their mom.
Because and if we have, it was briefly, because most of it was about the dad,
right? And how horrible he was, and so it was interesting watching Jack and Nikki respond differently to their father holding their mother's hand, and Nikki saying, you know, he's better with her when I'm around. He's better to her. As Jack, the oldest, he's like, that's not good enough. He's better when you're around. He's not better. He's just composing himself somehow, and that's not better. I didn't particularly care for that at all. So it was stressful watching their interaction because I didn't know when it was gonna maybe go left. Yeah.
But I think that what I was thinking about is think about how many kids who have an abusive father.
Yes.
And they feel that protection of their mother.
Absolutely.
And that really, I think,
that's a big deal.
That prevented him from growing as a person. You know, he didn't go on an adventure with the woman he loved that could have been the love of his life, and you know, because he wanted to stay back and protect.
I was totally waiting, like when she came to dinner that time, I was like waiting for the dad to do something at the dinner table.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like I kept waiting.
I was expecting the dinner to go all the way left. Absolutely.
And then, and I did say this earlier, like I like Cassie's character. I was glad she was still there for him, and like he could call her anytime. But I mentioned to these ladies that if she's going to tell him about not to have the shoes, then dadgummit, you know they're going to not let you take a wrapped liquid.
Yes, you cannot take wrapped gifts, period,
so to
the airport.
I mean, I feel like if you knew this man had not gone on a plane except for
since 1971,
whatever, then I would have been like, can I get permission to walk with him up through the gate? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I need to be an escort.
Yes, I would. Somebody needs to do something, because I was afraid something was. I mean, obviously, you know, he got there, but I was just afraid something else was going to happen.
I was in hives watching the whole anticipation of Nikki having to go to the airport
too,
and on an airplane. And he hadn't been on one since 1971. That whole thing was just, I was like, somebody help him.
Going through security with I knew that woman was going to unwrap it. Yeah. And it was going to feel mean.
Yeah.
You know? But,
because he wouldn't know how to explain it. And so, yeah.
Okay, so I found there were a couple of things in there that were very interesting to me. So, one, I love the fact that we now know Nikki was in astronomy. I mean, like, for real, and very knowledgeable about it. So you see all of the moon and the stars and everything, and I don't know if you guys noticed this, but there's the mobile over the twins' bed, but
the bed sheets
the sheets, yes. I'm like, oh, you guys are great. And so so they had the moon and the stars and everything on the blankets. I thought that was a pretty cool touch.
And I thought the way he described why he loved the moon was sweet. I mean, it was good. I just thought this was a sweet episode.
It was very, very endearing. I liked it about. Okay, but I wrote down here, Kevin is a lot. He was a lot with Toby. It's just like, reel it in, brother. Just reel it in. And then he was pushing too much, even with Nikki's like, oh, we're going to go to the park and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. He's always trying to bring everybody into his life. And it's like, okay, this man has not been out of his trailer since 1971. He hasn't been on a plane. He's got these great nieces, nephew. This is too much. Stop. Just let him. And at least at one point he saw maybe that he was getting overwhelmed. So, you know what? You go relax. Chill for a little while. But I was like, Kevin is a lot. He needs to stop.
Well, and I wrote down the fact of when he was going to go see Jack at the party thing, because all those people kept trying to draw Nikki out because Nikki's so internal. But then sitting at the bar, the guy that they were there for basically told Jack, we know now why Jack never said anything. Yeah. Because he told him to keep it, which is, that's all they knew back then.
Yes.
They didn't know to go to counseling, and we better talk it out, better to let people know. But I thought, what horrible advice. You're telling him to keep it in. That's why all these things.
Yeah. And why he relapses and why he has to find a way to, it's in one hand a testament to his strength because he was able to do it for so long, but then also to the poison he was swallowing every time he did swallow all of that pain and all of the memories and everything. And so yeah, I didn't think Sheehan's advice would have been the advice I would give, but I've never been in war. So I don't know what that looks like afterwards, and how much you want to tell this woman who you're not married to. You know, you gotta remember that, because that could scare her off.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I did say that I think this one showed how big of a shadow Jack cast over everybody that he's around.
Yeah.
You know, his
That's
kids,
a good point. Yeah.
his Mickey, his brother.
They're all in the,
You know, like, I just thought, what a big shadow.
Yeah,
for
because
everyone.
Nikki had that voiceover. I can't believe I'm here with Jack's grandchildren.
Yeah.
And one of them is named after me. And yeah.
But I love the one that is a line I think Nikki said that the impossible became possible. What he didn't think was possible, being sober, being out of his trailer, getting on an airplane, being reconnected with Jack's family, all of those impossible things became possible, and that's really good for Uncle Nicky.
Well, he said he turned into the opposite of what he became, the opposite of an astronaut, because he stayed
planted
and didn't do so.
That was pretty profound, I thought.
But then at the end, and when he said that, and then when he said, "You two are my moon,"
I know.
Oh.
That was really sweet.
I know.
Did it make you verklempt?
Yeah.
And then he gave it to me. I was like tearing up a lot during this. And then he had the pic in the book. So, you know, of them.
Yeah, the picture.
Okay, but how is he? Was it Gresham books? What books were they?
What was the Firm and
he got them in the airport.
I know. It's like there was nothing for children in the gift shop of Uncle Nicky.
I'm gonna give you some good books. Hey,
I don't like any of this stuff, but I like these books. So
yeah. So hey, yeah, I think
it was really sweet.
I thought it was a sweet one, and that's why when it ended and it showed the scenes for next week, I'm like, oh my gosh, we're gonna have this drama.
So much girl drama.
I know.
Seriously.
It's gonna be stressful.
Because you know, what it seemed like was that basically Beth can't have any look, or it's going to be about. Because I'm sorry, but my kid wouldn't be in the bedroom with a boy or girl.
No.
Like that, you know, no matter what the sexual preference was, by themselves at that age anyway.
No.
Yeah.
She's 13.
No. Yeah, and so I mean, I think mine went.
Is she that young?
Yeah, she's only 13.
Oh, I thought she
so
was
the
like
thing
15.
is if I walked into that room. You know,
are you gonna see it on look? That look is on my face.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I'm talking about being in a bed. You know, my girls. I don't.
No, yeah. So it's like even if it's, you know, they kind of made it like she's going to make it about her preference, and I was thinking, we'll see. I mean, because you know, it's always something different,
right?
But I was thinking, no, even if that was a boy sitting there, I don't care. I've been like,
you're gonna see the face. I'm sorry, you're gonna see the face. She's gonna see the face, and she's getting out because you're 13 and you've been, you know, dating somebody for 3 weeks, and I didn't know it, and now all of a sudden they are here, and y'all are all hugged up, and no, sorry.
I can remember my 16-year-old being like in the basement watching a movie, and I always had to go down and get stuff every so often.
I was having all kinds of things.
And there was a vent in the kitchen over the. You didn't know that, Emma Kay. There was a vent. So,
that's funny.
So you got some time alone in the basement, but somebody was around every so many minutes. So
I tell you what, I had enough drama with Jonathan as a boy, but this girl drama is just irritating me to my core. So we'll hold on for next week, because I'm sure I'm going to not be a
I don't want
fan
stress.
of
This
Tess.
is us. Don't make us stressed.
We always stress with this.
We need peace, harmony,
peace right now.
Love is what we need.
That's what we need.
70s with our Volkswagen van.
Oh yeah, everybody needs a VW. What's it called? A minibus.
Minibus.
Oh yeah.
Weren't they called
and
minibuses?
she named it Pearl.
Yeah, after
Sally,
her grandma.
Yeah, I like the Pearl.
All right.
Okay.
Well, maybe we'll find Pearl and Sally next time.
Yes.
But I'm sure we're gonna find lots of girl drama with Tess and Rebecca. I mean, Tess and Beth. Yes. All right. I'll get all their names straight by next week.
But until then, Brooke has a birthday.
Hey!
Happy birthday!
Hey!
Happy birthday! Woo-hoo-hoo.
Thank you.
She's only 25, y'all.
That's right.
Woo!
And Passover starts, and It's Brookie's birthday.
Palm Sunday.
It's Palm Sunday. So everybody enjoy this fantastic holiday weekend. Shabbat Shalom to all of you going to temple tonight. And we'll see you next week.
Okay.
Deuces.
Bye.